Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel as Algeria and Equatorial Guinea play out a 0-0 draw in Malabo, as I said they would. I did say it would be a draw, I said 1-1, but that game had draw written all over it, especially when we see the result in yesterday's game where Liberia beat Togo 1-0, which meant that basically Equatorial Guinea were through before this game kicked off. If Togo had won that game, Equatorial Guinea would have to have beaten Algeria to get to the AFCON, or at least got a result. The pressure was off both teams. We knew going into the game today that both Algeria and the host Equatorial Guinea had already qualified for the AFCON. Liberia and Togo have both been eliminated with one game remaining. But still, didn't stop Petkovic going with his, probably in his eyes, his strongest team in terms of who is fit and available. It's clear that in the away games in Africa, particularly in the away games in Africa, Petkovic wants to play 5 defenders. So when we play Botswana away in March, in those crucial important World Cup qualifiers, I'm pretty sure he'll go 5 at the back, Botswana away, who'll play Ait-Nouri, Ben Sebaini, Mandy, Tugai, and I think he'll go Yusuf Altal, or maybe even Weiser, who knows. But it's clear that's his system. In the away games, he wants to go to a 5, and you can't knock him for it because he's played, 4 away games now. He's won 3 of them, and he's drawn 1 of them where he kept a clean sheet today. So that's what Petkovic seems to be doing with the team. But it was nice to see Alexander Ukija get a game in goal after coming out of retirement. And of course, Ukija gets a clean sheet in his first game back. Interestingly, we've used 3 goalkeepers in 5 games in these qualifiers. We've only conceded 1 goal in 5 games. Defence has been sorted out drastically. You've got to give them credit. Yes, they are playing 5 at the back in a lot of the games, but clearly we're keeping it tight at the back. We're conceding less goals. What a save from Ukija to deny Nsue in that first half. Unbelievable reflex save from Ukija. Really good save. Thoroughly deserved the clean sheet. Could even give him man of the match, really, considering the way the game went on. Algeria very limited in the attack. Look, the thing is, when you play the back 5, you know you're not going to really concede that many chances. You're going to be defensively solid. But going forwards, you sacrifice a player in attack. And I think that's where Algeria lacks some creativity today. I've described the team as an Algerian donut. Really nice, really tasty, but absolutely nothing in the middle. Zerouki and Zorgan. I mean, how many times do I have to come in after a game and say Zorgan should be playing? This Zorgan, Adam Zorgan, he's living off his dad's legacy. He's stolen 10 caps off of an Algerian for me. He's a disgrace. He shouldn't wear the shirt again. Pulled again off. Kandusi comes on much better. Not only does Kandusi play much better when he comes on, he makes Zerouki a better player. I'm starting to think Zerouki is okay because he played pretty well, especially in the second half. He nearly scored at the end. The problem is, if you put Zerouki next to Zorgan, it's not going to work because you've got an average guy and a useless guy. If you put Lasagna next to Lubia, I'm picking Lasagna all day long, with Lubia being Zorgan and Lasagna being Zerouki. But if you're putting lasagna with chips, lasagna with pizza, lasagna with couscous, I'm never picking the lasagna. I'm picking the other option every time. That's what happens when you've got a Zerouki with a Benassa, a Bental, a Benawa, these sorts of guys, even a Badawi. You cannot play Zerouki and Zorgan in a 2. It's ridiculous. I get you're defensively solid, but it's not going to work. Zorgan, just stop calling him. Kandusi cleared. We didn't see Abdelli today. We didn't see Abdelli. Listen, we didn't see Shaibi. Why are we playing Zorgan? I get you're losing Benassa, you're losing Awar, you're losing Badawi. Obviously, Ben Talib's really unfortunate with a heart-beating situation. You're losing Mazza. I don't understand. You know Zorgan's going to come off, and don't tell me he scored against Liberia because they're awful. Liberia subbed the keeper when he scored against them, remember. I keep saying it. So, Zerouki, there's a player in there. You don't get 40, 45 caps if you're a dead baller for me. Also scored the other day for Feyenoord as well. The Shush celebration. But you've got to put Zerouki in the right system. And so far, I don't think he's had the right system with him, to be honest. I think it could work for him. Might not, we'll see in the future. But if you're putting Zerouki with Zorgan, it will not work. But yeah, elsewhere in this, I mean, I thought Farsi didn't play very well. He got bodied off the ball. Bit quiet from Ait-Nouri. Farsi, for me, I don't understand why you wouldn't play Weiser and call Weiser. Obviously, Altal is not 100% fit. And then the attack of Amora, Benrahma and Mahrez. Look, Algeria have nothing to play for. We've won the group. We didn't even win. And I'm not expecting massive attacking output. Mahrez had a shot in the second half. That was okay. Benrahma was quiet. I think Guiri, when Guiri came on, he was really good. He set up Zerouki for the goal and he scored in added time. Guerrero looks good on the left. I don't know when we're going to start addressing Amora. Starting games does nothing. People are scared and shy to call it out. I'm calling it out. Amora starting games is ineffective. Let's not forget, he started the game against Mauritania that we lost. Amora started that game, okay? People were calling for Amora to start that game, and I was one of them. He doesn't do anything when he starts. This guy, I'm more and more convinced, is an unbelievably good impact sub when there's 15 or 20 minutes to go and you want to inject a speedy Gonzalez, a speedy, pacey guy to stretch a tired defence. That's when Amora comes good. You look at the majority of Amora's goals in the national team, he scored them coming off the bench. And I think there needs to be a willingness to accept that Amora from the start might not be that guy. And that's okay if you've got Guiri and you're bringing in Shirky. Look, Benrahma had a quiet game. Let's not forget that Benrahma in 2024, especially under Petkovic, has scored some of Algeria's most important goals. If it was not for Benrahma, we probably would be already out of the World Cup games. The goal away to Uganda was crucial. Some really good performances. He got that game where he scored a wonder goal, where he scored 2 goals in a game on the AFCON qualifiers. Look, got no issues with that. If Shirky comes in, maybe he's still the left wing from him. But certainly, we are not going to go back to an AFCON for the 3rd time in a row and bring Belali back to go out in the group stage again. Thanks for the memories, Yusuf. It's time to say goodbye. I am wholeheartedly against Belali coming back into this team. Let him play the Club World Cup with a Tunisian club in the summer, that's fine. But in terms of the Algerian national team, we've seen Belali play left wing, we've seen Belali miss a sitter against Cameroon. He's not the answer to the problems. The problems are the midfield's weak. You need to sort out what's happening in there. You need to stop calling Zorgan. You need to sort it out. Overall, it was a quiet game. Equatorial Guinea are a good side. Of course, they're missing Emilio Nsue, the top scorer of AFCON. They're missing Salvador. For me, their midfield was better than ours. They had Pedro Obiang, who plays in Italy. Obiang used to play for West Ham. And they have Mascarell, who plays for Mallorca in La Liga. We have Zorgan and Zarouki. You'd probably pick Obiang and Mascarell over Zorgan and Zarouki, right? They're not a bad side. They completely thrashed the AFCON winners 4-0 in their own stadium. People forgetting this. They're a good team. I fully respect them. And that's why Equatorial Guinea, again, dominated the ball. Good atmosphere in Malabo. More chances, more shots. But not at their best, and they still qualify. So good luck to Equatorial Guinea. We could draw them again, of course, in the group stage of the AFCON when that comes around. But they've got some good players in there. They brought on some new players as well, like Gutierrez. They're building a new generation. Equatorial Guinea got the usual suspects, Boiler and Gane, and all those sorts of guys. Salvador will come back in, I'm sure. I think they're a good team, and I think we've done well to take 4 points off Equatorial Guinea. We got no goals conceded in 2 games against them. We beat them 2-0 in the first game. We drew 0-0 in the away game. But ultimately, that game was 90 minutes. We won't really get back. But it's a good result. We've won the group with 1 game left. We'll speak in a couple of days about Liberia at home. It should be a party carnival atmosphere in that one. But for me, you've got to start thinking about your best midfield, and it does not involve Zorgan. And if you want to play Zarouki, you're going to have to put players around him that are going to help him, that are going to assist him. Even if you just have 3 midfielders in there, it's more useful than having 2. I think having just 2 is worrying for him. And I also think the right wing situation needs addressing, because you've obviously got Mahrez, where he's not at his peak. We've accepted he's past his prime. You've got Benzia coming on at 30 years of age as well. He's a good player, Benzia, but to be Algeria's right winger, it's a big ask right now. I think you're going to see a situation where if you had the likes of Balumi, Haj Moussa available, Adamou Nurse if he comes back, I think that right wing could be rejuvenated, because Mahrez is keeping that spot, I think, because there's not that much competition in there. And it does look worse sometimes, even worse, when you take Mahrez out of it and he is the captain. But ultimately, there's not a clear standout candidate to take that position from him. You've got Boatnani as well, but he can't really get game time nailed down. Listen, at home to Liberia, he might start Mahrez to give him a confidence booster, but we need to see some new players, so we'll look ahead to that game. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments down below. Ukij gets the clean sheet. Algeria win the group. We'll see you at the next AFCON.